Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Israeli Sambad sitting at 9.0 in rank 6. It is the equivalent of the French Super Mystere B2. Now these planes are not known for excelling excellently at their battle rating. It is quite the average planes in some of the characteristics of the plane, of course, but it is a fun plane in a way, man. It can roll. It has great roll rate. It can turn. It really can turn fight. It is equipped with 2 missiles. It has those great 30mm DEFA 552 cannons, and man, I love those guns. It was so great to make a little step back towards those DEFA guns for a bit in between flying rank 5 for the Soviets and finishing rank 5, the rank 5 review. But those DEFA guns, man, these guns are made for me, man. I love these guns. They are fantastic. Combine that with a good air brake, the afterburner, the gun radar doesn't really work, unfortunately. There is that. But very well functioning air brake, afterburner that works, good guns, great roll rate. It just sets you up for some great possibilities, some nice setups, some nice reversals, overshoots that you can force in this plane. It's interesting, and it has style. It looks great. I mean, the Mysteres, the Super Mysteres, is the French, they traveled in style, let's say that, at least to my taste. I like this plane. I like how it looks. I like the skin. Yeah, awesome. So it was nice to be back in the Sambad. Now let me not praise this plane to the high heavens. It is definitely a difficult plane to fly. When you lose speed, it's going to be very difficult to set it up. It's very unforgiving when it comes to that. You got to treasure your speed, and if you are maneuvering, if you're making choices, make sure to get the plane that you're targeting, because it's going to be difficult to keep an energy advantage in this plane, as most planes accelerate much better than this Mystere. You're always the last of the runway, let's say that. But yeah, there is that. It's also not very fast, and you are often finding yourself in up tiers to 10.0. So yeah, that can be a bit bothersome. It can be a bit difficult sometimes. Then you're facing superior planes. But that is just the way it is, man, in the jet game. It's very compressed. It's very difficult to fly planes that are a little bit man their own battle rating, even though they may have fun aspects to them, which this plane definitely has. But yeah, I mean, there is that. Now, before we go into the stats, make sure to like the video if you do enjoy the video at any point throughout. Don't forget, that really helps the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, become a part of my community. Just smash that subscribe button and get in there. Don't miss another video. Okay guys, let's get into it. The maximum speed of this plane at sea level is 1060 without the afterburner and 1109 with. At 4500 meters, still go up to 884 without and 905 with. And finally at 6500 meters, still go up to 782 kilometers an hour without and 805 with. These speeds are in indicated airspeed, and yeah, the afterburner is definitely pulling back above 4000 meters. It's really slacking off there. You have almost a 50 kilometers an hour afterburner difference at ground level, and for a long time it's quite good, but after that, yeah, no, it's not too great. We have a gun radar that doesn't work in the middle right of the screen, and yeah, it doesn't. You can put it off, you can put it on, but for the rest it doesn't do anything. The afterburner, as I said, is a bit meh on the higher altitudes, but below on the lower altitudes it's definitely workable. And the air brake is great. It's a nice air brake, really slows you down. And combine that with the great roll rate this plane has and the good to very good turn time, and you have a dogfighter on your hand, a plane that can force overshoots. Just the downside to that is that you don't have the acceleration to build that speed back up. So there is that. That is unfortunate, but you do have some stuff to work with in this plane, and yeah, that's nice, let's say. In a dive it's also decent. The top speed in a dive is 1201 before she red lines, and 1260-ish before she rips apart. That rip window, it's only 59 kilometers an hour. It's not a great window there from the red line. It is a small window, and you have to be careful in the long ends of a dive there, because you can rip her apart. Is that the effective dive speed, you would ask? 700 kilometers an hour is where your first stick in the aileron compression starts. 850 is the second one, but as you start with great roll rate, you keep on being more maneuverable in the lower ends of the dive than many planes that you face. So yeah, it's not a big problem, the control stiffening in this plane, as you start off with fantastic roll rate, which is nice. But you do have to be careful from 900 onwards that you don't crash the plane into the ground. Stall speed 130 kilometers an hour. That is above average. It's quite nice actually. Firepower is excellent. As I said, I'm in love with these guns. I have been for a long time, since I started through rank 5 of Israel. Fantastic. Two 30mm DEFA 552 guns with 150 rounds per gun. And add to that the two Shafrir missiles. I probably butchered that name, but okay. Shafrir. The 10G loading missiles, not the greatest, but hey, they work. You have missiles. At least there's that. I used air targets for the 30mm DEFAs. Air targets are just full with high explosive rounds. Stealth belt is a combination of AP and stealth 50-50. And the default belt is as well. The ground belt has 66% AP rounds and 33% high explosive. So yeah, they are all functional, they all work, but I love the air targets. They have tracers, 50% tracers, and everything is high explosive, so all the rounds really kick. They have some stopping power to them. I like those the best. But if you want to use any of those other belts for a reason, they will do well for you. There is no reason not to use them. It's just preference. If you want the most hitting stopping power, you take the air targets. If you want a surprise factor, you take the stealth belt. If you want to go ground pounding, you take the AP rounds of the ground belt. And well, the default belt, you have the least reason to use those. But still, they can function. You also have some bomb and rocket options on this plane. Not combinations of either, but you can go ground pounding in it. So yeah, there is that. There's no combos, but you can choose for bombs, you can choose for rockets, you can choose for missiles. There is that. Decent ammo loads on the plane. Those 150 rounds are good ammo loads. Nothing wrong with that. Acceleration in a straight line is below average. Really, you really notice it. In a dive, it's only average, so you really are not the greatest accelerating plane in this thing. You're going to be one of the slower planes when it comes to that, and it's going to be difficult to regain speed. You're going to be hard pressed to keep the energy advantage in extended dogfights, let's say. Energy retention is decent, both in the horizontal and in the vertical. But yeah, that engine, that performance really hampers you when it comes to that. Climb rate in the plane is decent. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing great either. It's alright. Turn time is where she shines. Good turn time in the plane. Very good with flaps. Flaps rip off at around 680, which is yeah, between meh and okay. It's yeah, I mean, almost 700 kilometers an hour. Well, you have to be careful. You can easily rip them off if you're not careful. Roll rate is great in this plane. It's one of its main strengths. Reversals, overshoots with the air brake is very fun defensive flying in this plane when it comes to that. And it's one of its upsides, and you're gonna need it in this plane, absolutely. If planes still have missiles, you might have some troubles here and there. Especially in up tiers. Up tiers are not fun. The speed disadvantage really lights up there. How it's not really a fast plane at 9.0. It's definitely not a fast plane at 10.0. So you gotta have to be aware of that when you get up tiered, and that is often. You're not going to be one of the fast planes, but those Defa guns make up for a lot. I really enjoy that. Maneuverability overall is very good. It's a nice dogfighter. You will have all the chances in the world when people actually want to turn with you. And again, and this is always true, you will be amazed at how often people want to turn with you. Like this guy in the Yak-38, I don't know why I just used a missile for that. It's a complete waste of a missile. But yeah, this guy, of course, the Yak-38 is not the most maneuverable plane, but he was lucky here because I ran out of ammo. But people want to turn with you all the time, man. It just happens a lot. People buy premium planes to get into jets early. People don't know how to play the jet game, and you'll often find yourself maneuvering against planes that cannot actually maneuver with you. People who just try to maneuver and don't know much about the game yet. So that's great. It's great for using this plane. It gives you a little bit of an advantage. Overhooting in the overhooting. Okay, man, let's not go into that one. Overheating in this plane is present, definitely present, but it's manageable. I mean, you just gotta take the speed down sometimes. Don't use the afterburner too much, and you'll be fine. And she also cools off very easily if you pull the throttle below 100%. So it hasn't been an issue for me. Durability in the plane is good. It can definitely take a few hits. Of course, you know, that's all relative in the end, but I found it to be quite a sturdy plane. It can handle the damage quite nicely. Repair cost in the plane is 7,242 Silver Lions. This is actually a good repair cost. It's on the lower side at 9.0. There's many planes that have a higher battle rating. There's only a few that have a smaller repair cost. So repair cost is nice in the plane, and I think the plane deserves that. I mean, it's not the greatest plane, right? At 9.0. So if they would make it an expensive plane, that wouldn't be really nice. The rewards in this plane, it has a 440% research point booster and a 390% Silver Lion modifier. Now these are decent for the research points, and the Silver Lion boost multiplier is actually on the low end of things. It just doesn't give great Silver Lion rewards, but the research points are decent. Yeah, not excelling, not terribly fantastic, but it's up there. It's all right. How can we use this plane most effectively? Well, as I said, it can definitely turn fight. There is that. It is a great turn fighter. It's a great defensive flyer when it comes to that, with the afterburner and the roll rate. Love it. And it can turn, so yeah, very maneuverable, very nice. It can also boom and zoom a little bit. Definitely nothing wrong with it. You just have to be careful at the lower ends of the dive. It can get its guns on targets until the very end against many planes, because it starts with great roll rate. So there is that. It is also a great air support possibility for you. As it can turn, it has great guns. You put some bombs on it. In ground RB, I think this plane can fill a nice role as well. It also has those snap rockets, quite a few of them. So you can definitely play a role in ground RB as well. Now that was a nice match. We have a final blow, the best squad, Terror of the Sky, bulletproof, 40,000 Silver Lions and 6,500 research points. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the Sambad, or the Israeli Super Mystere B2, is a plane that is an acquired taste. It is not fast, it hasn't got a great engine, acceleration is a bit below par, and you're gonna have trouble making it work, especially in up tiers. But there is fun sides to this plane, I have to say. It is a very maneuverable plane, great roll rate. The turn time is good to very good with flaps. You have fantastic guns. I love these guns. They are excellent. The Defa guns, 30mm, 2 of them. You don't need 4. 2 is enough. 150 rounds. Lethal shells as well. Great belts. With the air belt, it's just only high explosive fillers. It's just very effective. You also have 2 missiles, so you can definitely make it work. Yeah, it's a mixed bag, this plane. I like the gun so much, and the turn fighting capabilities, the air brake works, combined with the roll rate, great reversal opportunities there. So there is fun sides to this plane. It's just not one of the best planes. It just doesn't excel. My personal taste that I like to look at this plane. So yeah, that's always an upside if you have to fly a plane a lot, right? But it's a bit of a mixed bag, this plane, guys. I can't say otherwise. If you get into up tiers to 10.0, it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle bus. But still, even there's many players these days that go into jets with premium jet planes, and they just don't know how to fly it. I mean, yeah, against experienced pilots, they know how to deal with the Super Mystere, especially if they are in the plane that is in a down tier. But all in all, this plane can be fun. I like the options that it has, and yeah, it's definitely worth a look. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.